We are back, family. Triple Crowns podcast. Triple Crowns Royal Family. What's going on? My question is, did you miss us? You know what I mean? My brother Jean Pierre was like, you know what? Don't even say nothing to them. Let's see if they miss us. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. It's good to be back, though. We are blessed, so blessed, joined by two of Baltimore's just shining stars. I don't want to say in the rough, but they are diamonds doing great things from the city. And we have them on today. This is actually our super producer Shuri's idea, along with brother Tyrone, to highlight some young people that are crown jewels. We normally would have them as crown jewels, but today they are going to be our guests. So we are joined by Miss Kamaya Taylor and Mr. Vernon Crawford, aka Photogenics, in the house. So can't wait to hear what this king and queen are doing. But before we get started, good to see you, brother Jean. Good to see you, brother Ty. Good to see you, super producer Shuri. Family, the question is, because we're going to talk to these two young people about it. Here's the question to you, because we're going to find out exactly what's on their minds about passion. So that is the question. What is your passion, especially regarding the community? What is your passion, especially regarding the community? And I'm gonna start with my brother John. I already know part of this answer, but his answer is so wide and so deep. When we're talking about passion and regarding to us in the community, I'm gonna shut up. Brother John, give us one or two, or maybe three or four.
What's going on, family? Passion and community, upliftment, ensuring that everybody is learning. Everybody is growing, everybody's reaching back, everybody's showing love, ensuring that the safety and the again the upliftment and the betterment of everybody is there. You know, we often tend to think that once we've made it, you know, we have no further responsibilities. And that is so far from the truth. The responsibility of each and every one of us is to reach back, is to go back, is to, you know, stay in contact with our community and ensure that, you know, we keep the village strong. We keep the village going. We keep the village alive and well. And we continue to feed the village, not necessarily, you know, with food, you know, but with knowledge, with experience, with understanding. And we nurture and we grow and we go from there and we protect the house. That means we protect each other. We protect each other's mind. We protect each other's soul. We are responsible for each other. So yeah, I just answer for everybody. So I'll take credit. Next question. Brother T.
We're gonna say the best for last. Let me get out the way before we quickly interject with our guests here. For me, you're right. You did actually answer for me. You know, this show is a blessing to be able to do basically all the things that you said. Give back, try to spread the knowledge that we come across here or knowledge that we had in the past for our people and really truly for all people, but want to focus on our community, to uplift our community. You know, teaching, reading, and passing knowledge. You know, making sure the community is engaged in love, and like you say all the time, bro. That's an action word. So, you know, music, anything and everything to uplift. God, I guess I just you. It's jacked up because it looked like I stole from you, but you really stole from me. All right. Real quick, we're gonna start with ladies first before we go to Brother Tyrone, who's letting our Triple Crowns royal family into the house. Kamaya Taylor, Miss Kamaya Taylor, Queen Kamaya Taylor. I'm again working with you, and you know, full disclosure, Kamaya is one of my former students. Who she is a bright star. You will see that today in her own words. But Kamaya, just give us one of your passions before we go to Brother Vernon.
One of my passions, a passion for me is cleaning up the community, and I'll further explain later in the podcast. But cleaning up around the community, I would always see trash around. I walk my dog every single day, and just walking him, there's trash everywhere. You know, you wouldn't want my dog to get into anything he's not supposed to or eat anything he's not supposed to. So for my dog and for everyone's dog and everyone's pet, I'm pretty passionate about keeping it clean, keeping the community clean. So
Cool. And yes, I know there's much more to that you're going to offer to the Triple Crowns Royal family out there. Brother Vernon, how about you, sir? Give us one of your passions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I tell you, I'm real passionate about the youth and opportunity. I'm just real into, creating opportunity, creating a chance for other people. Because I just believe it should never be one way of doing anything. And I believe just growing up, everybody should be afforded the same opportunity and chance. So, I'm just real big and passionate about equality mainly, but the youth and opportunity.
Appreciate it. Succinct and making this is what we love to hear. A brother that's talented, sister that's talented, but this brother's talking about creating opportunities for other people, which hopefully in turn will lead to equality. We appreciate that. Brother Tyrone, once again, another brother of many talents and passions and gifts. How about you, sir?
Yeah, y'all took everything. I don't like to sound like a copy, but no, I will. I guess just everything I've been doing now and everything, I will piggyback a bit off of what Vernon said. Definitely I would say for me, my passion is definitely to have opportunity for youth and young adults and little babies that's just like out of this world, that's never ending opportunity for youth and young adults to be able to thrive and succeed and have anything and everything that they need.
Beautiful. All right, so let's get on into it. So we have Crown Jewels. If you follow the show, and what we do is we try to highlight somebody from the community who you have never heard of. We're always brought up talking about people in the Black community, more especially, and we can name those 5 or 6 people, and they did wonderful things. Dr. King, Harriet Tubman, Brother Minister Malcolm, and on and on. But it's time for us to look just to our left, just to our right, just down the street, just in our backyard, for people who are trying to make changes for our city, for our people, for our community. This time I'd like to start with Brother Vernon. You were talking about some of the opportunities that you're trying to create. You kind of gave us a little bit of it. Tell us what it is you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah, so what it is that I'm doing is actually a lot. So I do photography for those who don't know, but how I'm creating opportunity, I formed a collective with a few different photographers and videographers. There's actually in different cities, California, New York. And so we basically formed a collective that we launched on Juneteenth, which was this past Saturday. And the collective is it's called Collective B, which stands for Collective Black. And we're starting off with helping employ different photographers and videographers, really worldwide. Well, starting in the United States specifically, not worldwide. Starting in the United States, but the plan is to get it worldwide. But how we are starting off initially is using our own clientele that we have, because all 4 of us do photography or videography for a time. And so we don't have a 9-to-5. And so we've gained the knowledge and the skill onto how to gain clients, right, and sustain the living off of what we're doing. But as well as now we on overflow, right? So now we need more photographers, we need more videographers to help us with weddings, to help us with parties, different events. And so that's what we're doing collectively as a unit is, we're forming all of our talents and our clientele together to be able to help employ our skills, like our photographers or entrepreneurs just on basically, an amateur level who don't really have the experience to go out and sustain the living on their own, but they have the skill, they have the knowledge and the know-how. And so what we do, we just play, I guess the best way to put it is the business side, to just go out and get the clients, and we match the clients with the service. This is new. So this is something that we're just starting out. But again, we already have clients contacting us about weddings for 2022. And so, we have immediate need for photographers and videographers, specifically with weddings, but, that's all around. That's with photo shoots, parties, baby showers, whatever you can think of that involves pictures or videos. And so that's basically how we're creating opportunity. and what we're doing right now, specifically.
All right, brother. I appreciate that. Appreciate what you are doing. I want to follow up, but I will a little bit later to get your ideas on using photography to document some of the things that are going on in our city. But we'll go to Kamaya Taylor. Kamaya, what are you working on right now? What kind of projects are you doing? What is going on with you? How are you giving back?
So yeah, actually starting this Monday, June 28th, I will be starting my summer job where I will be working with other youth members, and we will be picking up trash around our communities and around the neighborhood, as well as on different days we pass out food, give back to the community, and things like that, just kind of helping out. And also, I've been discussing becoming a member of a youth committee. In the committee, we would talk about serious topics such as racism, immigration laws, and things like that. But I'm still waiting to hear more about it. But that is going to be something that I might be doing in the future. So, yeah.
All right, wonderful. And Kamaya, you're not going to escape the show without talking about the wonderful work that you did last year at Fort Worthington. We'll get back to you. Let me pause before I go back to Brother Vernon. Brother Ty, anything from the family?
We got, I'm unmuted. So, oh yeah, I am unmuted. Yeah, so of course, as always, y'all, thank y'all for joining us, watching us. Please share the lives, direct people to our YouTube channel. Come, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Those who are on you're found on the Facebook, but if I can't get y'all to come to YouTube, it'll be so much easier because I'm holding and Sean. But we just said two folks are excited to hear from young people. Same thing, excited that young people and y'all changing with the image that they try to say about Baltimore young folks. So keep up the good work.
Beautiful. Thank y'all so much, Triple Crowns Royal Family. Those of you that have decided to chime in. Brother John, any questions or comments for our guests before I prattle on?
Well, first I'd like to, give you guys your roses while you're still here with us, and it's phenomenal to see. It's funny, man. We don't even feel as young as, we are, but it's phenomenal to see the youth, the young ones, y'all are the next generation, man. And, I just appreciate your work. To have the foresight, to have the courage, the confidence, man, y'all got to keep going. No matter what it is you do, every little bit that you do is a piece of this entire puzzle, and it matters. It really does matter. I was just commenting the other day, so many killings every day, and it's just, you get numb to it, but you also get sick and tired of it because nobody's talking about the positive side of things, and y'all are out here. So I appreciate you. I just give you your praises and give y'all the encouragement to keep going, man. Don't be discouraged on anything. Don't let nobody label y'all or limit y'all. Don't even limit yourselves. Just keep going with what you're doing. So thank you. And just keep showcasing and keep teaching, because you don't know who's watching you. But trust me, you are being watched. And it is an encouragement to somebody. And you won't know it till they're ready to tell you. So y'all stay true and keep going with it. It's not really a question. I just want to give y'all your love, man, for real. So back to you.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
So Kamaya, tell us about the Youth Ambassador Program. What was it all about? What was your role in it? Explain exactly, because again, this is one of those things where most people haven't heard about it. Most people will never know the work that you're doing, and also it's a little bit different for Brother Vernon, because his photography takes him into the public sphere. The work that you did pretty much is limited, unless it ends up being a master program, is limited to the public school sphere. People just may not hear about what you're doing. But anyway, explain to the folks what you did and why you were doing it.
Yeah, so the Youth Ambassador Program was basically a program that allowed students to basically see things that are wrong in their schools and create a solution to them. So I was a part of it with another youth ambassador for my school, and we came up with two programs for our school, one called LIT, Leaders in Training, and the other VOS, Voices of Scholars. These programs basically were for younger students. Well, LIT was for, I created LIT because I remember somebody also mentioned now about younger scholars not having many opportunities to be leaders and have a voice. So that's why I created the program LIT, to allow younger students in my school to be able to be leaders. And I feel like it's right for them to have that type of training beforehand. So when they get older, they'll take on bigger things, but they'll already have the skills from the LIT program. So yeah, and I really hope we can launch the program in my school still. We did a pitch presentation to potential funders to fund the program. But I'm still waiting to kind of hear back from all of that. But yeah.
You mentioned to me that you're graduating, you're going to high school, but you mentioned to me this year that it was important that you come back in the fall to try to see the program through, try to see it launched at Fort Worthington, funding or not. You know, that was your dedication. We spoke about this a couple times during the year.
Right.
Why is that important to you? I mean, people would say, well, you know what, come on, you did all you could do. And you're going on to the next thing. Let the next folk, you know, pick up the baton. But you know, you are very adamant, you know, saying, you know, Mr. Rich, I got to come back and explain why.
Yeah, because I'm passionate about this program. I really want to see our young scholars, you know, be leaders. And I want to come back and make sure it's being, you know, properly carried out how I planned it. So yeah, I'm really passionate about it, and I really want to see it. It'll be really cool if it could just, you know, blow up, be big.
Excellent. Excellent. Brother Vernon, let us know what else you're working on. I just feel more gifts than just photography. And then if we have a chance, I'd love to get your take on using your gift, if you have used it, to document what's going on in the city.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I tell you, I come a long way. So right now, the ventures that I have with photography, I'm really trying to be, well, we are the home of all things photography. And so I ask people, everybody, the same question all the time. If you have a basic need for pictures, right? Where do you go? Like, you need your baby shower recorded, graduation pictures, wedding, no matter what it is, where do you go for pictures, right? There's no one place to come to mind. Like, millions of people are going to think, hey, I need to get a photographer or a videographer. But there's no one place that pops in your head. Like, if I ask you if you need a burger, it's plenty of places to come to mind, right? Same thing with anything else. But with photography, it's an untapped market. And so my plan is really to control the industry in terms of recreating what it means to be a photographer and to take pictures and to actually create something that people know as the home of photography. So when you think of pictures, photogenics comes to mind, no matter what it is. You can have a wedding, it could be a baby shower. It could be any need in the world for pictures. We're going to be the ones that come to mind. And how I plan on accomplishing that is mainly, like I said, working with the collective to build up photogenics and help employ other photographers and videographers across the United States, which means I already have clients coming from different cities, different states, right? California, Alaska, Atlanta. I can't physically be there if I had to be other places. So this is the chance for someone else. This is new opportunity for another photographer, another videographer, and this is constant. And so this is something that I'm living every day. And my plan is to become the home of all things photography. That doesn't mean I'm going to be the best photographer in the world. That doesn't mean these are so selfish motives. I need people, right? I need to, one, find the talent, but I need to also help other people elevate themselves to a different level. And this is why I always speak on equality, because all of the photographers that I plan on helping and that we plan on helping, bringing to be a part of the collective and employing, these are people that are considered amateur talents that can't really find a job with photography or can't make or sustain a living off of photography on their own. So when I say equality, while they may come in on a different or considered a lower level than what I'm on, the plan eventually is to pull them up to the same level, if not better than what I'm already on. And if I'm not doing that, if that's not the goal, if that's not the motive, something isn't right. And so that's really my main focus, because I'm making a decent amount of money off of pictures now, right? So I'm doing everything. I'm doing baby showers, parties, weddings. And so, it's more than just taking pictures for me. I'm all about generational wealth. And I think, if I could give another passion, that's really one of my strongest passions actually, is generational wealth, because I believe that's truly what gives us power in our culture. As well as that's something that we're just not accustomed to. Black people, that's why Black people are bad with managing money, right? That's why when we get money, we feel the need to spend it, because it's so many people who grow up in low income areas, right? We grow up in poverty. So we're not used to money or controlling money or assets. And so when we have them, we have trouble managing them. And so that's my main focus with photography, is to help recreate generational wealth into the Black community. Because one of my problems is that people love to talk about the 400 years that we was enslaved, but nobody talk about the 50 years after that African Americans basically built a Black Wakanda and had businesses and had Black entrepreneurs, and all of that stuff was burnt down, and these entrepreneurs was killed off. It's like that's a forgotten moment in time, and these people couldn't even read or write. And so I feel like that leaves us with no excuse to not be great. And so I'm real driven by that. I feel like we were supposed to already have generational wealth, but that's a different conversation. But I'm focused on the solution more than anything. And I feel like as we come up, as we level up, as we gain wealth or get introduced to new success, we should feel empowered to bring each other up and help another person. If your goal in life is to get rich, get a nice house and a Bugatti, something isn't right, because you have to be worried about the next man. Because even when we die, what about our kids? What about our grandkids? Like right now, I'm envisioning my great grandchildren saying, hey, my great grandfather was the Picasso of pictures. He the reason why we got this business right now. I envision stuff like this. And so, this is how I think, us as people, especially as a Black man, this is where your mindset should be, because if not, we really won't have enough power to change anything if we don't have any wealth. And, so that's just my main focus.
Oh man, that's outstanding, Brother Vernon. That was a lot. I wanted to follow up if I could. You mentioned Wakanda, and we actually discussed Tulsa here 2 weeks ago. Is that your model for when you think about how does our community tap into generational wealth as a true community, like you said, not as individuals? Is the Greenwood Tulsa model, is that what you look to?
Yeah. I mean, I would say that's exactly what I look to. I feel like that's what it's going to take. Like when I think about Wakanda, right? That's like a fictional country apparent, right? That's a fictional place that you deem powerful, that only you or your kind can access or have access to. And so, when I think about generational wealth, just like with anything, and I tell people all the time, it's not a racial thing, it's a strategical thing. And I think people need to understand the difference. It's like, you ever see like a Chinese person, right? You got Chinese bars and Chinese carryouts on every corner in Baltimore City, and they're filled with African Americans all day. But have you ever walked into a Black-owned establishment, a barbershop, a convenience store, and seen it filled with Asians or Koreans? Never. And that's not going to happen, because they're strategic in how they spend their money. Again, this is not a racial thing. It's a strategic thing, because this is how they empower their culture. This is how, they stay rich within themselves without having to rely on other cultures. And so I believe we should be modeling the same thing.
Superb points, Brother Vernon. Thank you so much for that. Kamaya, as you think about growing the next crop of leaders and being, a young person yourself, and that's not to limit you, but it's just a salute for your age. I was impressed this year that you wanted to reach back to younger scholars, younger students, in order to prepare. Because, the thing about what both you and Brother Vernon are talking about is it works hand in hand. If we start teaching young people about leadership, and to Brother Vernon's point, we start teaching them about the proper way of utilizing and understanding economics, we do begin to have a brighter, more self-sufficient shape of a community as a people. And so when you think about the next generation of leaders that with the LIT program, what do you expect to see? If I said to you, okay, we're going to fully fund the LIT program at the school that you were at last year. Give me some outcomes. Give me some turnaround in the next few years. What do you expect those scholars realistically to be doing?
Yeah, I expect those young scholars to be now older, basically coming up with programs of their own, like this, creating their own programs, speaking on topics, speaking on big topics. I really expect them to, mostly to be able to create something and give back to other scholars. If that makes sense.
It does make sense. No, it
And
absolutely does.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So it seems as though you're basically, I mean, I don't even want to say seems as though you are laying the foundation for other people to walk on and be able to branch out and create their own. And that right there falls into place with what he just said. You both really have a great fabric that you are creating right now. And it'll see the light of day. Just continue pushing and getting the right narrative out there. But you got to make sure that, you're doing your part consistently. And that's the biggest thing. That consistency is what's going to make the difference for you.
Connecting you all, Kamaya, but it's amazing what you're doing being so young. One thing I want to offer myself as a resource to you, to help you all out. I've done some, I'll get into it all later on with you. But Vernon was actually one of my youth ambassadors a couple of years ago. He was a youth ambassador, and we had a lot of successes with, working with elected officials, changing laws, stop the construction of a new youth jail, and all that. And I heard you mention something about a grant, y'all applying for grants. And William asked you about like measurements and stuff. So I want to help you out with some of those measurements that could definitely help you all to get the funding that you could need, to get the program going and everything like that.
Thank you, Brother Tyrone. And I'm sorry, I'm thanking you for her. I'm sorry. Come on, go ahead. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I was going to say that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So you mentioned funding. So you had your program, you came up with the program. Did you pitch this? How did this all, run this down for us? How did this all work out?
Yeah, so I did pitch it. I'm actually wearing the T-shirt from the Be More Me showcase that I pitched my program to potential funders, along with another youth ambassador, as I mentioned earlier, for my school. There was like a whole showcase that it was a bunch of other students. We were all able to pitch all of our ideas to funders who were there and listening. So yeah, it was really cool how the whole thing was set up. So yeah.
Were you nervous about the pitch? How did that go? Come on, break it down. Come on, tell the people what happened. Like, take us through it. Take us through a bird's eye view of what you did. Come on, break it down for us.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I was really nervous that day. Like, I had to come into school. As you know, I came into school. First, they had like this little workshop. They had like a workshop we were able to do where we were able to write on masks. I thought that was really cool. We were able to, do that, do some art. And then came the actual pitch. So we actually went first. We stepped up and went first, and I was nervous before, but when I actually was in the pitch, it just came natural. I didn't feel nervous anymore. And then afterwards, I was just, happy we did that. And then there was a Q&A portion afterwards. That part was the part I was like most nervous about, because I had no idea what they were going to ask. But we did prepare. We prepared before, had a few practice sessions and like the Q&A section. And during the Q&A section, I feel like I could have answered the questions better. I remember I was going to email one of the funders because I wanted to answer the question over again. I never got around to it, but I might still do that. I might still do that. I have to dig up their email or something like that. But overall, it was really cool, and I'm really happy I did it. So. Yeah.
So thank you for that. Before we go back to Brother Vernon, okay, so I got a chance to be a part of this whole thing. Tell the folks, what was the eye-catching, why was yours, besides the programs that you came up with, you and the other scholar? You're so savvy. You did not mention her name. Very, very, very savvy. Very, very savvy. I don't even know if people caught that. You didn't mention her name because she's a youth. Very, very savvy. But anyway, what really blew the minds of the district brass in your initial presentation, and then also blew the minds of the funders in your second presentation, that you and the young lady who was spectacular as well? What did y'all do that made it so unique?
So yeah, we actually made our presentation bilingual. So it was in Spanish and English. We did that to basically show that all voices matter. So I would read the English version of like a section of our presentation, and then the other youth ambassador read the other section in Spanish. So the whole thing was in English and Spanish. And everybody really liked that. I did too. So.
And one of the things that is really important, not only about the Spanish speaking community, but for the school that you belong to prior to going to high school, we're starting to see an influx of Afro-Latino scholars there. So, it's an awesome thing that they feel and see you and are included with the linguistic point of view. Let me see. We're almost out of here, almost out of time. Brother Vernon, are there any more things any more nuggets you'd like to drop on us, and any more pearls of wisdom? Because you have really laid it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, if I could really say anything before I go, I think my main message to everybody is that, and this is something that I just had a conversation with my mom, my sisters and stuff the other day. I feel like our problem as African Americans, it starts from birth. Like, so we have to pay more attention to the youth, right? Because the youth is the future. And so we need to invest more of our time, more of our money, more of our everything to the youth. So I just want to start off with saying that. But specifically, my point is, I believe it starts from birth on how we was raised. I just remember going back to a child. My great grandmother did the best that she could. She did a great job raising us. But even still, as a black man, as a black child, you're taught, hey, go to school, make something out of yourself, right? But what is that even saying, right? That's not even giving you a clear path to life. As one, like it's like coming up where I come from, graduating high school was considered like making it, right? And so I feel like one, we got to push our kids further, set the bar and the standard higher, even as a child, right? Yeah, grow up, right? Make something out of yourself, go to school, become a boss. If you do get a job making 6 figures. If you don't get a job, I'm working for somebody, become an entrepreneur. And I think that's one thing that we should start teaching in our families, to our kids, is that entrepreneurship and what it means to be an entrepreneur, how to create businesses, how to manage money and bank accounts, because these things are vital. It's habits, right? So if you have these habits at a young age, at a transition over
Looks like
We
we lost
lost
our brother.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we understand where he was going with it. I mean, we got to invest, and that investment is not just financial; it's also educational. It's also our experience. Up, be back. Let's see. Yeah, we definitely want to, share the experience or what have you, and keep that going. Brother Vernon, you back?
Yeah, I had got a call. Somebody knocked me out. But
You good?
yeah, just to keep it short though, I just feel like we have to breed that entrepreneurship into the Black culture. We should be raised being taught how to be entrepreneurs, because another thing that I live by this as a man, specifically as a Black man. I feel like, I feel obligated to pass my child down something more than just money, right? I don't want to pass down debt and dysfunction. I want to pass down, of course, generational wealth. That's knowledge. That's a business. That's something that's going to help my son grow way beyond the value of a dollar. And so, that's just important to me as a man. I feel like a lot of Black men should have that in them. Like they should feel obligated to do more than a standard, to just be more than a Black man being successful. You should feel obligated to be a successful Black man, just making another Black man successful. If we don't obtain these mindsets, it's going to be hard to actually grow and build. And, that all starts with accountability. That all starts with everybody looking at self in the mirror, figuring out what they need to do more of or better of. And, collectively, I think, when we all start with ourselves, the world will just change naturally. But I think, that's one thing. If I could say anything, we should definitely start making that a part of life, how we raise our kids as well.
Wow. I'm stupefied, man. We got so much knowledge here tonight, Brother Vernon, and so much ambition and courage and strength and care from our fair sister Kamaya. Brothers, we're on the tail end of our show. Brother Tyrone, did you want to say something before we start speaking about our peaceful journeys on out?
Before that, of course, thank you, Kamaya. Thank you, Vernon. Everyone who joined us. Kenyatta said, shout out family. She's happy to see her. She was tuned in. Also, Madeira, I need you to go to YouTube, subscribe to YouTube, and share this on your page. You got a lot of followers. Wanted to put that out there, but no. Also, I'm happy. I'm excited. I followed this brother's. Jez, I say he was a youth ambassador. So I don't know how many years now have I known you. And it wasn't easy, right? Like it wasn't easy. I'd spent several phone calls and visits, like get it together. I know the potential in you. So, but to see that, right? And to see that now, and as he just listening to him talking about the investment and putting stuff in kids early, like it worked, right? Because he's a product of it. And seeing him here now, right, and what he's doing and the work that he's doing, I mean, it put a smile on my face, in my heart also, because like I had a small role in it. I know I done something in there. You know what I'm saying? So that makes me proud. And along with other ones, a couple of my youth ambassadors actually got shot, killed, and everything, so to see those that are still thriving and doing things and out there, like, is amazing. But these things are putting them young. I wish we could have got them even younger. But then you got Sister Kamaya here, who's now, right, going into high school, trying to start this in school. So don't wait until then. And these are the things that I talked about back then. Like, we need programs to, prevent troubles, to prevent issues, right, before they even get there. Give them opportunity before they even get there. Don't wait till they got to get locked up and need rehab and all this stuff. Then, like, let's put things in place for them early on. So I agree. Thank y'all for being here. And again, family and those who are watching, thank you for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Triple Crowns Podcast, and join us on YouTube next week. I have a good bit of people watching on Facebook. I don't want to discourage y'all from watching, but please subscribe to YouTube and join us on our YouTube.
Appreciate it, Brother John. Any peaceful journey on our way out the door before we wrap up with our guests?
We are all descendants of different organizations that have helped us along the way. And I'm speaking about, the three of us in some way, shape, or form. There's some organization that reached out and helped us. There's somebody that definitely pushed us along. So I'm absolutely encouraged by you two, and your endeavors, your accomplishments, and what you are seeking to continue to create a legacy. One thing to keep in mind: we cannot pass our jobs on to our children. That is not something that gets, carried over, unless we have a business. Unless we have some ownership, they're not getting it. So we got to keep that in mind. I am absolutely I'm grateful. I'm honored, and I admire the both of you. Please keep going. The sky's the limit. You have great examples in front of you. And I hope that you also are great examples. And I hope that you understand that and you accept that role and the responsibilities that come with it. You understand all of that, nothing's gonna stop you. So stay encouraged. Proud of y'all.
Sister Kamaya, any final words? We call this time the peaceful journey before we leave our show.
Okay. I just want to thank you so much for having me. Like, I've never been on a podcast before, and it's so great to have experienced this. Thank you so much for all the kind words. And I learned a lot. I like listening. So next time I'll tune in to your podcast, share it with others. I think this is really cool what you guys are doing. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Kamaya. And Brother Vernon, I know you just hit us off before, but I want to give you another opportunity if you like. If not, we could just close out.
Yeah, if I could, I just wanted to, Maya, just go far in life. Because I remember a time not too long ago, like Tyrone said, how long ago was it, man? We over a decade in, and I tell you, it seemed just like yesterday. I just can remember being a child. I'm embarking on a new journey, trying to do something positive. And surprisingly, that I can honestly say that was one of the turning points of my life, in terms of my mindset and what it did for me as a person, as a young man. And one thing I can say is, without Tyrone, there may not be a Photo V. Because one of the things that I did take from Tyrone was accountability. He taught us, at a young age, how to just be accountable. What that really means. And I think that helped me a lot in life. And so, along with being a youth organizer, I'm a youth ambassador and just community organizing period, you're gonna learn a lot. And as long as you stay passionate, you'll go far. But regardless of what, just give y'all, because it's youth out here that need you. Y'all the future. You know what I mean? So it's just important that you have that passion and you carry it out. But I'm thankful for you, and I'm pretty sure everyone is too. But I just really wanted to say that y'all the future. Y'all the future. So give it y'all, and you got it.
Well, beautiful words, really beautiful, positive words there, Brother Vernon, and gracious words, Kamaya. I just want to say that may the Most High bless you all, keep you, cause his face to shine upon you until we meet again. And fathers, brothers, be careful of what you do, because your children are watching you. See y'all next Wednesday. Maybe, actually, nah, I'm going to, 2 weeks. See y'all in 2 weeks. Brother John told me not to say nothing more than that. Bye. See y'all next time. Bye.